What's going on YouTube? So in the world of heavy duty trucks, each arrival is trying to outdo the other. Not just in terms of sheer numbers like torque, but also how many features and amenities they can pack in. This is Ram's new heavy duty truck, and we spent the day with it to find out if this is the new king of capability, features, and value. Well, let's go ahead and find out. Now, right off the top here, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's under the hood real fast with our spec dump. So there's going to be two different options, a Hemi V8, or you can get the 6.7 liter Cummins turbo diesel inline 6-cylinder. That's what this has, and I think most people will actually choose this. It has been improved for 2025. We're looking at 430 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque going across all the trim levels this year. This is going to be paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You have available 4-wheel drive as well.
Now, we can't wait to talk a little bit more about that later on. And if you're looking to buy a Ram heavy duty or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price. But for now, let's go ahead and close up the hood so we can take a look at the revised exterior and interior.
Now, of course, a big part of the heavy-duty truck experience is having a large and imposing design, and they certainly do have that here with this Ram 2500 HD. Now, for 2025, we're going to see some updates in terms of the overall look, especially right here in the front. So what they've done is kind of tweak the grille, raise everything up a little bit to give it a kind of more muscular look, including the emblem, which is prominently, of course, spelled out Ram. Now, obviously, there's also going to be a lot of different versions of this truck. So you've got many different trim levels you can pick from. Each one of those trims you can kind of customize to what you like. So for example, this Laramie, we've got the chrome finish, but you can also black this out if you prefer something a little bit more sinister. Now, as we move over here to our headlights, you've got a new split arrangement. So you'll actually see it's two different housings right here with the body color running between them now for 2025. You will get standard LED headlights. You also have a premium arrangement with the projector LEDs and your daytime running light and turn signal indicator through there. I think it looks quite handsome in person. And then down below, we also have our LED fog lights. Now, from this perspective, you can really see just how large this hood is. You've got some prominent hood vents up here at the top, although that one in the front there is fake. And then you've got, of course, your big heavy-duty branding through there. As far as ground clearance is concerned, you do have over 10 inches of ground clearance standard on all models. And let's talk about the wheels. So you've got a few different sizes you can choose from. This actually is the largest size you can get on a heavy-duty truck. It's a 20-inch alloy wheel. Obviously, these trucks are much more focused on capability than super flashy design. And obviously, there's going to be a number of different finishes to go along with this. We have some body color lower elements since we have the sport package as well. Cummins turbo diesel right there. And then, of course, we've got those giant towing mirrors with the chrome cap on board. You are going to have all the features that you want with today's example. So you've got power folding, auto dimming on both the driver and passenger side, in addition to the standard heating and blind spot monitoring.
Now, at the side of the Ram Heavy Duty, there are a lot of different cab and bed configurations. You would want that out of a heavy-duty truck. These are used for work, and different work situations demand different things. So what you're looking at right now is what's standard on the Laramie trim and above. This is the crew cab configuration with the 6'4" bed. Now, you can also get things like a mega cab if you want to extend the rear area out. You can also extend this bed out to up to 8 feet long. So this is really a gigantic truck. This one is sitting at about 240 inches long. So very, very big. We have some sport branding here at the rear panel. And then as we head around to the rear design itself, we do have a very handsome overall look. Now, of course, heavy duty trucks are not, the most flashy when it comes to design. However, I do really like that Ram is very prominent here in the back. As you can see, it's in big chrome letters. You're not going to mistake it for anything else right across the tailgate. You also have your Laramie branding. And then our tail lights are going to be revised for 2025. As you can see, we do have a very premium full LED tail light unit. That's included if you choose the tow package. It will include every single element as LED. I like that, even on a heavy-duty truck. And as we head down to the lower area, this is all going to be finished in a body color. You can also get things like a chrome bumper. And then, of course, we have our tow hitch there because this thing is very, very capable. Well, how capable, you may ask? Well, the 2500 HD version of this vehicle is capable of towing up to 20,000 pounds. It has about 2,750 pounds of payload capacity. Now, if you want to opt for the 3500 model that is available in the dually configuration, that helps you to have better payload as well as some additional peace of mind. You can go up to 36,000 pounds as your maximum towing on the Ram 3500. So really insane figures here and insane levels of capability. But let's go ahead and check out the bed itself. As you can see, we do have a nicely dampened tailgate. And then checking out the bed itself, like I said, this is the 6-foot 4-inch configuration. We also do have the spray-in bed liner, so it's a really nice bed liner in here. And as far as features are concerned, there are going to be some lights on the side. Over there on the left side, you will also find a 400-watt power outlet. That's going to be good for things, you know, charging up your tools, powering different appliances on the work site. However, one of the really cool things about this new Ram is the fact that it can have a 2.4 kilowatt inverter in the back. Now, that is going to be in a late availability option. However, that's going to be the most powerful outlet in the bed of a heavy-duty truck. So if you need to power heavy things all the time, that certainly will be a nice option to have. Additionally, of course, you can get Ram boxes. This particular model does not have them. Now on that side, you also do even have a little pop-out footstep that will help you to get into the bed itself. And then as far as your safety systems are concerned, of course, this is a very big truck. You might need some of those. You're going to get just a handful of those as standard equipment, and then all of the other features will be included in your safety group. But guys, there is a big and luxurious cabin on the inside that we can't wait to show you. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then, we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
And if you want to know about all the latest and greatest rides, then make sure to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the newest cars. All right, now let's move to the inside. First, we'll take a look at the key fob. Of course, you have the typical Ram branded key fob. You have the smart entry system as well as remote start on the fob for this Laramie trim level. And getting inside, just reach behind the handle. That will unlock the door. Now, taking a look inside this interior, just like with the exterior, we do have some upgrades for 2025, especially in terms of technology. But let's start off by talking about the seats as always. Now, you got a lot of different options, of course, as you would expect. Just like with the exterior, you can customize this a lot of different ways. First of all, we have power seats that starts on the Laramie trim. The rest of them have the manual seats on the lower models. You also start out with cloth or vinyl seats. This is a genuine leather, though, that you get on the Laramie. Even higher up to the Limited, it's going to get you the premium leather. You have a couple different choices for this trim, but I do like the seat design in the black with the color contrast piping and branding. Now, of course, you also have memory seats over here on the door trim as well. And then we have the available fixed running boards here, but you can also get power ones as well. Now, as I climb fully inside, I can just go in and tell you guys, gone are the days of having your heavy-duty truck, need to be a penalty box of just basic transportation. Even this mid-level Laramie has very impressive amounts of luxury inside. So let's take a look at those materials. Over here on our door trim, we've got the leatherette that's going all through here, even around the window surrounds. The center section here has a suede insert. We have a faux wood trim through there, and then a full leatherette across this part, so you can rest your arm up here as you cruise. Moving up to the upper dash, all of this is completely covered in leatherette, even way up here. More stitching and details. This is just going to be branded with Laramie, but this area would be covered with genuine wood if you get one of the trims such as the Limited. And then as we move down to the lower panels, of course, these areas are going to be hard touched, but everything feels nice and solid. I do want to mention before I forget, you can get for no additional charge a 6th seat right here, or you can just choose this console. And let's fire it up with the push button start. And now that we got that big old diesel engine idling, let's take a look at some details of the cabin. We'll start with the gauge cluster. A few different arrangements on this. This is the premium 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, though, which begins on the Laramie. This means you have full customizability. You can go into your menus and change based on whatever is most important to you. Even some things such as like your current horsepower, like a full performance gauges. Those are pretty cool. Do be aware, though, you cannot get a head-up display. That's something that's different with the heavy-duty trucks versus the Ram 1500. Now, pulling back to the steering wheel, most models are going to get this leatherette-wrapped steering wheel. You have a lot of physical controls on board. The wheel itself is manual tilt and telescoping. However, you do have some adjustments on many of the models for your power adjusting pedals. And then as we pull back to the general cabin, let's talk about the storage situation. So obviously we have a lot of storage on board. Beginning in our center console, we got this nice upper panel with a felt lining. If we drop this down and open it up, we'll see the broader storage just goes way down there. This is a fully reconfigurable cluster here, so you can actually move this back and forth. All of this storage is available underneath, so whatever you need, you can make this adjustment for you. What I want to point out especially, though, is this right here. This is new for 2025. We have dual wireless phone charging pads, so both you and your passenger can take advantage of that simultaneously. Speaking of passenger, you have more storage over here. We've got the dual glove boxes, so you can use that up there in addition to that one. You have some storage up on the top here, a little storage down there on the sides, and of course storage in the doors as well, so you're not likely to run out of places to stick things. Now, one of the things Ram says is back by popular demand is the column shift. So this is now standard on all trim levels, absolutely every single trim level. No more rotary knob. Apparently the heavy duty truck customers did not like the rotary, and now we're back to the column shift. So just pull down for drive, head on up into reverse. When you go into reverse, here's our standard backup camera. You can also get a 360 camera if you prefer. But as you can see, nice active trajectory, as well as that line there to line up your trailer. If I press that button, we can check out what's in the back and its status. Now, obviously, you are going to have a lot of four-wheel drive and towing controls right through this kind of region here. It's your command center. And then right above that, we have a volume knob for our audio system. So the Laramie comes with a 9-speaker Alpine sound system. You can further option on the advanced Harman Kardon sound system with 17 speakers if you want to this trim, or you can just upgrade your trims to one of the higher ones that has it standard. Let's take a sample of this one though. Overall, this is certainly not a bad sounding sound system, but it does lack some depth and some clarity from that Harman Kardon sound system. All right, let's zero in on the displays. So there's some stuff to talk about here. You've got 3 different displays. You begin at 8.4 inches, you can move to 12.3 inches, and then new for 2025, you can now get a 14.5-inch display. What you're looking at right now is the middle option, the 12.3-inch display. However, of course, the 14.5 one is just going to kind of expand this out a little bit further and kind of encapsulate some of your buttons down there at the bottom. Now, as far as the software is concerned, this does have Uconnect 5.0. That includes things such as wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That's what you see up here at the top. You can click through your different shortcut buttons right through here, including things for your climate controls. So when you're inside of this menu, this is where you'll be able to find your standard heated seats on the Laramie trim level. You also have available ventilation on this trim. And then you've got physical buttons over here so you can operate this redundantly without having to go inside the display itself. Now, one of the other things is that you have the availability of an additional display for 2025. So in a first for a heavy-duty truck, you can get a passenger display, which will just kind of occupy this space and give the passenger their own little entertainment hub. Taking a look up top, we've got the auto dimming mirror. You can further upgrade this to a digital camera system if you prefer that. We've got HomeLink remotes located right here. And obviously, as you can see, we don't have the sunroof on today's model. That is an available option though. Just be aware it's a standard size sunroof, not a panoramic option like you have with the Ram 1500.
All right, but let's go ahead and talk about the rear seat area for this Ram Heavy Duty. Now, of course, this is a gigantic truck, and that means we're going to have pretty gigantic amounts of space as well. Now, we'll go ahead and start with just the standard configuration, which is what we have here. We're going to have about 40 inches of legroom and about 40 inches of headroom. That means for someone who is 5'9" like myself, you're going to have plenty of space. And this seat is adjusted to Drew, who is 5'8". So we still have, I mean, it's an incredible amount of space, about 10 inches of knee room with Drew's seat adjustment. That's why we bring the official Car Confections ruler, so you can see how much realistic knee room you'd have, and my feet can easily slide up underneath the seat. Now, if you're listening to that and say, oh, that's not nearly enough space, well, Ram has a solution for you. That's the Mega Cab. That's going to really extend out this rear seat area, and it's going to give you about 3 inches more legroom. So you're sitting at over 43 inches of legroom, and it's also going to include important features such as the reclining rear seat. Unfortunately, here on the standard model, the rear seats do not recline, so that's just something to keep in mind. However, they are very comfortable. They're also very wide. And then if we fold down the center armrest, there are 2 cup holders inside, 2 more cup holders over here in the center section, some more of that faux wood, a little storage cubby right there. We have vents included as standard equipment, 4 USB ports, 2 Type A, 2 Type Cs, and then we even have a household outlet. So if you can't keep it charged up in this Ram, I don't know what to tell you. Now, we also have 2 more cup holders, so 6 total cup holders here in the rear seat area of this model. Over there on the door trim, you are going to have a really nicely done one. It's made of that same leatherette, pretty much through most of it, some faux wood, Alcantara, tons of storage as well. And then in order to lift up the seat bottoms, you can just, lift them up. That's going to allow you to have quite a bit of additional space up underneath it here for storing things inside of the cab itself. And you're noticing all these things right here that actually kind of pops out and will allow you to have a completely flat loading floor, which certainly is quite useful.
Now, obviously, let's take a look at what is under the hood, because that is a big component of a heavy-duty truck, maybe even the biggest component. So you've got 2 different options on board. They're the same as last year, so you have the option of a 6.4-liter Hemi V8 engine. That's right, the Hemi lives on in the heavy-duty. That's making 405 horsepower. However, most people really are going to be interested in this. This is the updated Cummins turbo diesel. So it is a 6.7-liter turbo inline 6, 430 horsepower, but 1,075 pound-feet of torque. Now, there have been some updates for 2025, like I was saying. One of the things is that Ram has a new fuel pump in this that's supposed to be more reliable than the previous one, which was having some issues, and also that this diesel is just going to be a little bit quieter than before. The big thing, though, is the fact that all trims now get this as standard. So previously, if you got lower trims, you got less power, and you had to get an upper trim to get the full amount of power. Now you get the high output, no matter what, if you choose to have the Cummins. Now, how much does it cost to choose this? Well, a little over $12,000. So it's a pretty pricey option, but I think a lot of the heavy-duty truck people find this to be a worthwhile option. Now, in terms of your transmission, you've got an 8-speed automatic for both models, and you have, of course, the availability of 4-wheel drive. Now, we cannot wait to take this out on the road and show you guys the performance of this. I mean, 1,075 pound-feet of torque. However, we've got to wait just a little while longer because there is a driving impressions embargo in place. We wanted to go ahead and show you all the improvements Ram has made to this 2500 HG out here in the daylight, but we are going to have to wait just a little bit longer out of respect to Ram and our fellow journalists to share those driving impressions.
Now, big trucks demand big prices. So how much is this Ram 2500 going to cost? Well, we started around $45,000, and that's going to be for the non-crew cab version of this vehicle. Now, if you want the crew cab, that's going to start around $49,000 for that base tradesman model. Of course, as you elevate up the trim structure, there are quite a lot of trims. You go all the way up to about $73,000 for the limited versions. Now, you can also get the 3500, which adds around $2,000 to that price, as well as four-wheel drive. So, all told, there's a lot of customizability. If you're wanting one like what we have tested out today, we're sitting at around $83,000 with the diesel engine. Now, if you're looking to buy a Ram heavy duty or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you do that is because it gives you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. It can also help the dealers to start competing on price, and we even have a monthly payment tool if you'd like to check that out. Once again, you can find that in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. But buying a vehicle is about more than just the original MSRP, so let's go ahead and dive into resale and reliability. First up, let's talk about resale value. As an economics graduate myself, Drew and I took the time to develop what we think is a good estimate for this Ram Heavy Duty's potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years and 60,000 miles, it'll be worth 57.1% of original MSRP, and after 10 years and 120,000 miles, 43.4%. Now, it's worth noting that is a fantastic resale value percentage. It's actually one of the very best in the 5-year metric and also one of the very best in the 10-year metric. So it's worth noting, especially when it comes to diesel trucks specifically. People do like to buy those used, so that means the overall resale value percentage is quite impressive.
Now, we've also done the same for reliability by developing the Combined Reliability Index. This takes into account several trustworthy sources of reliability and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. In this regard, Ram is rated well above the overall industry average for all vehicle makes.
Now, if you'd like to learn more about our resale values, reliability data, or our methodology, be sure to go to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Buying a new vehicle is a very big decision, so you want to make sure you're making a smart purchase, especially if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle brands. Now, lastly, I do want to mention your warranty. It's going to be a 3-year, 36,000-mile basic warranty, 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain. And guys, that's going to wrap up our in-depth review of the 2025 Ram 2500 Heavy Duty. If you enjoyed learning about this new heavy-duty truck, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to be a part of our Car Confections family. We cover a lot of really cool vehicles on this channel, not just heavy-duty trucks, but really everything with 4 wheels we cover, so you won't want to miss out. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.